Hey everybody, it's Kerry Owen with Be Well Honey Farm. So today we're going to show you how to install a honeybee package. This is a 3-pound honeybee package, and so a lot of people really have never seen this process, but a lot of new beekeepers really know how to do it. But there's certain things like weather, for example, that can really make this hazardous if you don't know what you're doing. So I'm going to show you a way today that we do it every single time, whether it's hot weather, cold weather, or anything, but it really works especially well if it's cold weather. So first thing to do, I always, when I'm in the bee yard, I need to light my smoker. It just helps me, and I think it helps the bees too. Everybody just understands that it's time for us to start working bees. I use pine needles. I just like the smell of pine needles, and it works very well, and they're free if you pick the right spot on the side of the road. So you get your fire going and you stick it down in the smoker, and you start puffing the bellows, and that creates a little bit of coal base in the bottom of the smoker, and you can tell when it starts going real good. Now you can keep packing pine needles in this thing if you're going to be doing bee work all day long. So anyway, got the smoker lit now. We're just going to sit it aside, and if we need it, we'll get it. And the same thing with our veil and bee suits and gloves and all that. If we need it, we'll get it. And if you've never done this before, you'll be less nervous if you just go ahead and get yourself protected, so you don't have to worry about getting a bee sting. So here's our package, 3-pound package bees. You can shake the bees around gently, and that kind of coats them in the sugar water, which makes them get a little bit more sticky. And you don't have to worry about, like, drowning them. It's just making them sticky, so it's a clump of bees rather than them being loose so they can fly around easily. All right, so we've sprayed them with sugar water. All right, so now a little bit about our equipment that we have here. So we have a bottom board. This is a solid bottom board, and we have a 10-frame hive body. I'm especially fond of this one. The Calhoun Arts Academy of Anderson brought the school kids here last year, and they took a hive body home and and painted it for Be Well Honey and brought it back to us. And so we're going to put bees in this 10-frame hive today and put it in our pollinator garden, so when the school kids come and tour this year, they'll be able to see the hive body that they painted last year. So we start putting the frames in. These are already got the plastic cell foundation in, and it's coated in beeswax. We dip them in beeswax ourselves. Okay, so now it's time for us to take the queen out of the package. And so I have my Luan over the top to keep the bees from flying. I just open it enough to pull the cage out, and I put the Luan right back over the hole. And I'm just going to sit the package down for a second because we have to deal with the queen. So the queen is inside this cage, and there are a few attendant bees in there with her, so that they can keep her fed and taken care of and groomed. You'll see there's actually 3 holes, but one hole is full of sugar candy. All right, and that cork has to come out because the bees eat through the sugar candy to release the queen out into the hive, so that they have been introduced to their new queen. So I use a pocket knife for that. Once again, make sure you do it on the end where the sugar candy is, and you just pop the cork out, okay? All right, so now we have to successfully place her in our beehive so she doesn't fall. And so we have it's time to add another frame at this point. And so this little packing strap actually works great to help hold the queen in place. And if you just stick that packing strap right back over and tuck it in just like that, everything will be fine. Okay? All right, so now we're going to put the bees in. And I'm going to give them just another spray. Give them just another spray of the sugar water, just so they'll be easier to pour. Just mist them a little bit. And then I'll just kind of toss them around a little bit, and that gets everybody kind of sticky, like so. And then it's time to put them in. So we'll do this right in the open space of the colony. And we just literally are pouring the bees in. Okay, so what's happening now is the bees are climbing up on the frames. They'll come up and cover the frames and surround the queen, because they still need to take care of her. And we don't put the frames in too fast. We give them a little bit of time. And so now they've started already, so I can drop these frames in, and I just do it slight. See, you can see the bees moving out of the way. So you don't want to put them in too fast. You want to let that process happen so that you don't smash bees. As long as the frames go back in, then we're good to go. Just place everything in. Now I like to, at this point, get everything leveled up real good. Now we've got the proper bee space between all the frames. We have the queen hanging inside. So this colony has been successfully put in. We put our inner cover on, and then we have a bucket here. There's two little bitty tiny holes here that the bees drink out of. You have to have a bucket that has the right bee space so the bees can get up and walk around under here to get to the holes. And then we pull this out and fill it full of sugar water and then pop it back in. So we don't have to rip the lid off of every box and hammer it back on in the bee yard. So this works great. We make these ourselves here at Be Well Honey. And then we put an extra high body on top to cover the bucket, put our lid on top, and we have just successfully installed a 3-pound colony of honeybees the right way, cold weather or any day, here at Be Well Honey Farm. Thanks for watching.